tell us a story about the little girl that God left on earth 40 years ago because God knew demons would try to enslave the people of earth.
Sure, you must be talking about the story of Cherry, the little girl who died, and the angel came for her, but her family sold her soul to the devil and God protected her. Once upon a time, a little girl named Cherry lived with her parents in a small town, and she was spending time with her grandparents. Cherry's grandparents left her with her uncles, and something horrible happened to Cherry, and Cherry died. Upon return from the market, where her grandparents went to sell pigs and food they farm, they could not find Cherry. They looked everywhere, and her uncles did not want to tell her grandfather where she was. Eventually, her uncle found Cherry's lifeless body at the bottom of a water well, 2 miles away from the family home.
The grandfather must have been very sad. What happened when he found Cherry's body?
Unfortunately, Cherry already had passed away, but grandfather could not accept her death, so he reached out to God. God did not answer him. Grandfather became very angry, so grandfather reached out to Satan himself, and grandfather sold his soul for Cherry to have Cherry returned. But Satan did more than take grandpa's soul. Satan vowed that when Cherry gets older, Cherry would have to serve him. God found out what Satan was out to and ordered 2 of his first angels to go to earth and retrieve Cherry. But Satan found out what God was up to, and Satan said several of his demons to warn Cherry's family that an angel is coming to get her to take her to heaven, and Satan gave the family the gift of sight. Humans are not supposed to be able to see angels, only the children like yourself. So one Saturday afternoon, one of the angels came to get Cherry, and she noticed that humans can see her, and they started to chase her away by throwing water at her and calling her horrible names. The angel was shocked, wondering how can they see me, but she realized demons was not very far off. The angel saw the demons hiding among the trees, but the angel continued with her task and went to look for Cherry. The family had Cherry hid under the bed in her grandmother's bedroom. The angel proceeded to the room, and with her angelic power, she flew the window open and reached her hand towards Cherry. Cherry felt this calm and knew she had to go with the angel, and she reached for the angel. She noticed the angel looked up. Cherry looked up, and there she saw a man. The man looked at the angel and looked at Cherry, and he seemed pleased and happy and disappointed. It's almost stole. The man was communicating with the angel that came for Cherry. The angel then looked back at Cherry, is almost as though she was telling Cherry, I have to leave now, and the angel floated away. Cherry never saw the angel again, but eventually she left her grandparents' home. Cherry and her mother moved away and lived in a small town called Nassau. A few years later, Cherry encountered 2 angels, and let me tell you, Cherry was not surprised when she saw them walking towards her. They felt like kinship, as she had known them all of her life. Cherry never told her parents about her encounter with the angel, including the one she met in Nassau. No one knew. Cherry kept the secret for many years. One day during the autumn, Cherry sat outside. She loved to watch the trees sway back and forth. It's almost like she can feel the earth atmosphere, talk to trees, or she can feel everything. She felt different, but she never let that bother her. She saw these 2 people walk up to her, a man and a woman. She knew they were different because they were not walking. They were floating, and there was a glow about them, and a sense of peace and calm. And they said to Cherry, we are here to guide you. We are here to watch over you for the rest of your life. And the male agent angel said to her, one day, you are going to be very special. You're going to lead the world. Cherry never understood what they meant, but she never saw them physically again, but she always knew they were nearby. It wasn't until years later, when an evil corporation known as the Black Hat Corporation threatened to enslave an entire planet, the angels visited Cherry again and gave her a task. Her new task was to tell people what's happening in the world, and to bring them back to God by telling her story and her journey, and even share some of heaven's secret with the people of earth. Cherry was not too happy with this new tasking, because she was just to ruin her life. No one ever knew of her connection with angels in heaven, and she felt like this would ruin her life. She told the angels no.
And what happened to Cherry?
Well, the angels knew better, but their duty was to protect Cherry, so they allow her to grow up. Cherry went on to finish in college, and she even got a job and worked all this time. Cherry knew she was different. She had the special gifts, or you would say special powers, but they were given by God. But Satan and his demons were never far off. Day 2 was always watching Cherry, because you see, Cherry's grandfather had sold her soul to Satan himself, but Satan had no bids on Cherry's soul, cause God owned her soul, so Cherry always knew there was a dark side to her.
Did she ever use the dark side? I mean, like contact and Satan and working with demons.
Yes, for a long time, Cherry was confused, so she started to dabble in what you would call black magic, but the truth is she was just using her gifts. She would grant wishes and just make strange things happen, but as time went by, Cherry felt lost. She knew they had to be more to her, so she went and searched for God himself. Satan found out what she was up to and decided he was going to help her to understand who she is and how God left her. Satan convinced her God betrayed her. Cherry's angels' guide were not far off. They watched and listened to everything. God told him not to intervene. She needs to figure this out on her own, but her guide was always close by. Cherry became angry with God and asked Satan to show her the way, and Satan did. She guided Cherry and showed her how to use a portal to reach him, and he will answer all of her questions. Well, I have to go now. There's a whole book written about Cherry here. I'll bring a few for you guys. Next time I'm telling angel stories. If you want to know more about the heavenly realm and Cherry's adventures, all about heaven, you can continue to watch these short videos that the author will put out, or you can order books available on Amazon and Kindle by the author. These are the author's personal experiences with angels and heaven and God, demons and demon realm, and what humans mean to God himself.